Beautiful morning after a massive rainstorm. Today we're going to be digging a new trench, and aren't we excited about it? This guy connects these two columns along the back wall or the west wall of the pole barn. We have two more footings and columns to go in there, and we're going to insulate the foundation around that point. It shouldn't be too bad of a dig. I am running out of space to maneuver and running out of space to pile sand in an effective way, but I don't know, we got to get it done, so here we go. Wow, this is a tough way to dig. There's just no room, which means a lot of shovel work here.
Many minutes later.
I finished up backhoeing, and I brought out the forms and the rebar chairs and the covers and the laser level and the everything. I set out down the hole in order to dig it out, to put a string line up and yada yada yada. And I just looked at it and there was still way too much sand, and I would have been digging for a week with a shovel. So brought the backhoe back in and I excavated more. This is by far the ugliest trench we've ever dug. You know, a backhoe is not really designed to dig sideways. An excavator, yeah, you can spin around 360 and put that sand wherever you want. With a backhoe, you're really kind of stuck. And so we have this monstrous, ugly hole with piles covering some of our pillars. It's just not pretty. But it's a hole, and we'll be able to get the forms in there and pour them, probably.
One eternity later. Two days later.
Yesterday we got the forms off these footings and we got the brackets mounted. Today we're going to get the columns in, hopefully the grade boards, insulation, and maybe backfill. We'll see how much we can get done.
The next morning.
One of the biggest challenges with this last trench is that there's been nowhere to put the sand. So we ended up piling things on top of a couple columns. Well, while trying to fill the trench back in, I hit one of the columns with my backhoe. And it's our first semi-serious mistake. So here's your column. And as you can see, darn it bent. This guy bent right over. It did crack a little bit of the concrete off the corner, but the rest of the column appears to be intact and crack free. I'm hoping that we can take a sledge to it and bring it back. I'm not brave or stupid enough to try to use the tractor to bend it back. It's ugly. Ugh. What do you do, huh? What do you do? With this back trench filled in, we decided to kind of take stock. So over the last couple hours, we've been shoveling, clearing the grade board all around, spraying it off with the hose, and cleaning everything up. It's let us get all of our string lines back and in good shape so we can assess the positions of all the columns. Part of this is a reaction to my big snafu on this column. And I wanted to see if driving close to the other columns has moved any of them. The answer is yes, it has. For example, I've driven close to this column numerous times, and it's compacted the ground on the side that I've driven by, and it's moved it about 1/2 inch. So we're gonna take the tractor, which is a very blunt instrument, and pull these columns back into the right position, compacting the earth around it. This is excruciatingly tricky to get this in there, putting the exact balanced amount of pressure and just to move it enough. It looks like it's just off of it now. I think we moved it maybe 1/8 of an inch.
Yep. Well, look at the rest of them.
And
the rest of them were about 1/4 inch off or an 1/8.
The rest of them now are also just kissing, which is nice. So that wasn't so bad. We only really had 2 columns that needed to be moved a little bit. The one where we bent today, that needs to be moved as well. But like I said, I'm not using the tractor on it. We're gonna come up with another method to straighten this out.